Hey fellow gardeners, before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to Evergreen Garden and hit that notification bell, because today we're tackling a mistake that silently sabotages your soil life. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever wondered why your garden soil seems lifeless, even though you're feeding it every week. If you want vibrant soil, thriving plants, and a garden that practically grows itself, understanding this issue is crucial. Today we're talking about the subtle but deadly mistake that kills earthworms, your soil's most hardworking allies. Earthworms are the unsung heroes of any garden. They aerate the soil, break down organic matter into nutrients your plants can use, and even help prevent compaction. Yet one of the most common mistakes that gardeners make is overusing chemical fertilizers, especially those high in salts, nitrogen, or ammonia. Many well-intentioned gardeners think more fertilizer equals faster plant growth. The truth is, pouring concentrated chemical fertilizers directly into soil can burn earthworms and create an inhospitable environment for them. Imagine if your soil became a salt mine. How long would you stick around? Exactly. The problem comes down to concentration. Fertilizers such as urea or synthetic nitrogen compounds release salts that draw moisture out of the earthworm's body. When these salts accumulate in the soil, they essentially dehydrate worms and cause mass die-offs. Even if you sprinkle carefully, repeated use over time changes the soil's chemistry. This is why I always recommend testing your soil first. A simple soil test can show nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium levels. It's quite fascinating, really. If your soil is already high in nitrogen, adding more is not only unnecessary, but harmful. It's something to think about, isn't it? One of the simplest ways to reverse damage and keep your earthworm population thriving is to add organic matter. Mulch, compost, leaf litter, and even shredded garden debris create a soft, nutrient-rich environment for worms to thrive. It's truly beneficial, don't you think? Unlike chemical fertilizers, these materials release nutrients slowly and improve soil texture, which makes the soil hospitable. For example, instead of dumping a bag of synthetic fertilizer on a 10-square-foot bed, try layering a 2-inch thick coat of well-aged compost or shredded leaves. Not only will your plants get nutrients at a safe pace, but earthworms will literally come to feast and aerate your soil as they break it down. You'll notice them in the top few inches of soil after a week or two, especially if you water lightly to keep the mulch moist. Another overlooked factor is watering. Earthworms need moist soil, but they also need it to drain well. Overwatering can drown them, while extremely dry soil can desiccate them. The sweet spot is consistent, light watering that keeps the soil damp but not swampy. If you're using overhead irrigation, try to water early in the morning and avoid long periods of puddling. For raised beds or heavy clay soils, adding organic matter helps retain just the right moisture level without suffocating your worms. Did you know that planting the same crop repeatedly in the same spot can reduce earthworm numbers? Certain crops, like members of the brassica family, cabbage, broccoli, kale, release compounds into the soil that can be toxic to worms if left unchecked. Alternating these with legumes, leafy greens, and root vegetables ensures that the soil ecosystem remains balanced. Over time, this encourages a robust earthworm population, which naturally improves soil structure and fertility. Another major but often unnoticed killer of earthworms is soil compaction. Heavy foot traffic, machinery, or even constantly working beds without aerating can crush earthworm tunnels and force them deeper underground, where they are less effective at improving soil fertility. A practical solution is to create defined pathways in your garden and resist walking on planting beds. Using a garden fork to aerate soil lightly once or twice a season helps worms thrive and keeps the soil loose and healthy. If your soil has been neglected or, damaged by chemicals, it might be time to reintroduce worms. Red wigglers or European night crawlers can be purchased from reputable suppliers and added directly to compost piles or garden beds. To give them the best chance of survival, just mix them gently into moist, organic, rich soil and avoid adding them to freshly fertilized areas with high salt content. Within a few weeks, you'll start seeing the benefits: worm castings scattered across your beds and, honestly, improved soil texture that practically grows plants on its own. The bigger picture here is understanding that your soil is a living ecosystem. Earthworms are both indicators and engineers of soil health. Protecting them means protecting your plant's future. Avoiding chemical overload, providing organic matter, managing water, rotating crops, and, preventing compaction are simple steps any gardener can take today. Your plants will thank you with stronger growth, higher yields, and healthier roots. So remember, if your garden feels lifeless, check your soil first, not just for nutrients, but for life. Earthworms are the ultimate measure of your garden's vitality. Treat your soil well, and it will reward you abundantly. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Evergreen Garden, hit the notification bell, and share this video with your fellow gardeners. Comment below with your favorite worm-friendly gardening trick, and let's grow healthier, happier gardens together.